Hey everyone, this is Al from Red Leaf Sports. If you want to interact with us, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Red Leaf Sports. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and Spotify.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode number 5 of the Red Leaf Sports podcast. I'm your co-host Jay Marinelli, and I'm sitting beside my buddy Al on this special Thanksgiving edition of the Red Leaf Sports podcast. How's the stomach feeling right now, man?
I am so full right now. I am so full.
Last week we were complaining about our body feeling after a weekend full of playoff softball.
Yeah.
Now I think we got a bit of a similar feeling.
The total opposite feeling.
Total opposite, but similar in a way of just like feeling like shit. Just like you can't move. Your body's like feels like 100 tons. Like
it's the Monday of Canadian Thanksgiving. The Monday night of Canadian Thanksgiving.
Right, and happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners
Absolutely.
out there.
And I don't think that I have to eat ever again.
That's definitely the feeling I got right now. I'm probably going to dig into a little leftovers
No, you're not.
when we get home.
We should have brought some.
We should have brought some leftovers.
Are you
maybe?
kidding me,
Nah,
guys?
A little bit.
Barely made it here.
Holy.
Rolling down the stairs here. But yeah, it's been a great Thanksgiving weekend, and we're definitely a little tired, a little full, but we're gonna
Ready to rock,
we're
though.
gonna we do it for the listeners, right? We're committed.
Yes, we do it for the listeners, but I think I need a better. You need to introduce me better in this podcast. You got to be like the one and only Albert D'Angelo.
Why do you get that?
No,
why doesn't everybody? What do you want? Your own
I'm not-
entrance music too?
Maybe I do.
You want to come down and announce you?
Maybe I do.
Coming
Maybe-
into the booth, give him the
Maybe I
Jaws
should
theme.
Maybe I should start outside.
That's not what this is about.
Maybe I should start outside.
What do you think? You're like Conor McGregor from this weekend,
Oh, is that-
walking down the.
Is that what we're gonna get into?
Oh, we'll definitely get into that. But let's introduce the boys here in the booth, and we'll definitely jump right into things. Another action-packed show from a
Crazy amount of sports.
crazy weekend and week past. So let's go quickly. Our main man, our stats guy, Anthony Magnotta. Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
Anth.
Thanksgiving, guys.
How was your weekend?
Great. It was great.
Yeah, the usual, full of food.
Can't complain. It's perfect.
Good. And last but not least, our social butterfly and social media director, Ange Pompilio. Ange, happy Thanksgiving, man.
Hello, gentlemen. Happy Thanksgiving.
How was your Thanksgiving weekend?
How was my birthday, man?
Oh man, that's right. Ange.
Hey, happy birthday, man.
Did I forget to say happy birthday?
Did you
to
even wish him a happy birthday,
Thanks,
man?
guys.
I don't. You know what? I did wish him. I wished
hope
him
so.
a happy
Al
birthday
did a classy move.
in the
Classy
group
move.
chat. I said happy birthday, Ange. Then I gave him a little something on text via text just for Ange.
Just DM straight.
Those mean more. Those are like
Those are more. You're
Those
right.
mean more.
You're
Yeah, I
right.
shot it out in the
It means
group.
more because you have to
Like
actually
the-
go in deeper into your phone
Right.
to send that text.
Right, I
like
shot
those
it
Merry
out.
Christmas shoutouts, like
No,
on a group. It's
doesn't-
like, no,
That's why I didn't say
That's
happy
true.
Thanksgiving
It's
today
true.
in the group. If you guys know, I don't know if you noticed. I didn't say happy Thanksgiving today in the group because those mean
Did
nothing.
you text every
Those-
single person happy
those-
Thanksgiving?
No,
'Cause I didn't get a happy
forget it.
Thanksgiving
Forget
text.
it. Forget it's
Just let it go.
Everything's played out. At this point, everything's played out in life.
Everyone knows
Like,
I wish you a
You know,
happy
I'm hoping
Thanksgiving.
that you have a great Thanksgiving.
It's
Yeah.
like Instagram.
Absolutely.
It's like Instagram now. Like my mom didn't post that she was cooking a turkey. Is that a bad thing?
Does that mean it happened?
Like should
Yeah.
my mom be posting Instagram?
Well,
No.
you should have filmed
Step
your
by
mom.
step?
Good for Mrs.
Putting in a
D'Angelo
turkey.
not to post that.
Come on now.
Yeah, no. And yeah, for our listeners, social media director's birthday was this past
Well,
week.
Guys, I'd like to give Saturday, I'd like to have guys over for some beer. So Red Leaf invitation.
Wow.
Red Leaf invitation.
Wow.
Saturday
Whoa, so
beers.
are we
This
going to
goes
give out
out
your address
at the studio.
onto
No, yeah,
live?
yeah.
You know where Ange lives.
You're invited.
Next Saturday.
Yeah.
at his house.
If you know where he lives. If you don't, sorry. Then
DM
then I
the
guess
account. DM the account. We can get you some coops.
We can maybe get you some VIP insider.
get you some coops for next Saturday.
Yeah, if you
But
want
yeah,
to come
we-
to the party, you don't know where he lives, DM us, our account, at Red Leaf Sports, and we'll get you in.
Maybe we can get you in. We can.
Maybe.
No line, no cover. No line, no cover.
There might be a little bit of a line.
A bit of a line,
No
but
cover,
no
though.
cover.
No cover.
Okay.
There's not going to be a lot.
Well, on behalf of
cover.
our Red Leaf staff and listeners,
Happy
a
birthday,
happy
buddy.
birthday
Cheers,
to
guys.
Ange
Thank you.
Pompilio. And so let's jump right into things, guys, with the one, the only, the usual, the starting five.
Thanksgiving edition.
Thanksgiving edition.
of the
Nice.
Starting five.
Very nice, Ant.
Topic 1, UFC.
Oh, there was a fight this weekend.
UFC or / WWE.
Whatever you want to call it
However
these
you look
days.
at it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where that's going.
Yeah.
Soccer rundown, MLB playoffs, NFL Week 5, and NHL first week in the NHL.
Yes, big
Big first
face-off week in the NHL. Lots to talk about there.
We'll just talk about Matthews.
No, we're gonna talk about a lot of great stuff.
I'm just going to talk
You
about
could
Matthews.
talk just about Matthews.
Any point that you make, I'm going to relate it back to Matthews.
No problem. So okay, since you're
wanna
already
start off
getting
with the
giddy
NHL?
there, let's start off with the NHL.
Is it bad that I'm looking at the standings already?
It is very bad.
Is
yeah,
that
absolutely.
bad? Is that a bad
absolutely.
thing?
That's
You know what I don't. You know what I don't get. I don't get. So we're starting with the NHL.
Yeah.
I don't get when people, even in any league, oh, why are you looking at the standings? It's early. It's not too early to look at the standings ever.
Of course, it's early,
It's
man.
not, you can look at it. I'm excited. I
What do
want
you
to see what's
mean?
going on. Let's see what's going on. How are people doing at the beginning of this?
But it's not even the beginning. It's 2 games,
Woo!
3 games.
Who's
now.
in first?
Yeah.
Who's in second?
Oh my God! So you're like those Hab fans from a few years ago when the Habs
All
were in
right.
first place in October and they were planning the parade and they ended up missing the playoffs finishing like
if
the bottom
playoffs,
10.
If the playoffs started now, Carolina would win the Metro Division.
Right? Yeah. If the
this
playoffs.
is the good
That's another
stuff,
phrase
all right?
I can't stand. If the playoffs started now,
But it
well,
doesn't start now.
The playoffs don't start at game 4. They don't start at game 42. They start after game 82.
So if the playoffs started now, Carolina
this one?
Islanders would all be in the playoffs.
Good.
no.
And this is why you look at the standings,
The
because it's
scoring
funny.
pace Matthews and Tavares on right now, they'd score
Yeah, 100 goals. Yeah.
100 goals each.
They're on pace to score. That's another one, Ange. Yeah. They're on pace to score this many
Oh, they
goals.
are.
They are on pace to score that
guys.
many goals. I would be surprised if
God.
Matthews gets under 100 goals.
Yeah. Over on the go smash the over then on his
Under 100
his goal
Put
totals.
the house on it.
Okay, are we gonna talk about any of the games or are we gonna
Let's
Yeah.
talk about
let's
some
talk
games.
about just the standings?
Let's talk about some
A
games.
lot of action. Your Leafs off to a good but not great start, I guess.
I would say not great start at all.
not great start. Good start. I mean, 2 wins, 4 points out of a possible 6, but
Two overtime wins.
2 overtime wins against 2 bottom feeder teams.
Three, really.
Three
non-playoff
bottom feeder
teams.
Yeah,
teams.
from, Chicago.
But this is the thing, though. The beginning of the year, teams come out flying. Teams come out. It's different, right? It's the beginning of the season,
You got to give it at least 20.
right? Exactly.
San
So
Jose.
listen, so exactly, right?
San
You're not going to
Jose.
write off San Jose just because they've had a bad first few games, right? But the Leafs are definitely not showing much that we didn't know already. Offense is going to be red hot. Defense is going to be suspect. Anderson has to stay consistent. I
don't
think those are the
understand.
storylines we all knew going
I
into
don't
the
understand
season.
why Anderson can't just be good. We all know that we all know that he has it in him to be a good goalie.
He is good, Al. He's just not very
He
consistent at
hasn't
times.
done it for a long stretch.
And he has issues in October, very similar to Tuukka Rask, who both goalies come out flat almost every year.
But Boston always, it's weird for Boston. Boston always comes out playing like one game in the month of October for some
Yeah,
reason.
they have a weird schedule every
So
year.
not only do they
Yeah.
come out flat,
Yeah.
they just don't get going.
They have
And
like
they have-
5 games in hand.
Yeah.
And it's only like November.
yeah,
Like,
and when like April comes around, they're playing 10 games in 2 weeks.
right, exactly.
Right before the
And-
playoffs.
And speaking of Boston, I mean, they got their asses handed to them opening night. I watched a total of about 5 minutes of that game. I knew that Washington was going to come out, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe Boston will be down maybe 2-0 after the first. They were down 2-0 after a minute 20.
Yeah.
Washington scored 24 seconds in.
Washington came out firing.
That team came out like champions, like they were.
Yeah, but you don't usually see that when the banner gets raised.
That's what I was expecting. Maybe a bit of a little hangover. Too much hype. You're focusing too much on the pregame celebrations, but they came out. They went nuts, and then we, our social media director and I, had a very, very good dispute on the whole Marchand Lars Eller situation.
Let's give a little background there.
Right.
Lars Eller celebrated after they scored their 7th goal, making it 7-0 at that point.
7-0 goal.
So 7-0 at that point. Skated by the bench, celebrated a little too much.
Little hot dog. Yeah.
But he didn't look at the bench. If you watch the video,
Celebrated in front of the bench.
He's looking at his boys on the bench.
And she celebrated. I get after the goal. If you want to celebrate in the circle near the net, I get it. Little tap on the heads, huddle, great. But then he celebrated again, and he purposely went in front of the bench. He 100%. He made a little cut. He made a little cut, and he waved his arm like to give a little woo, and that pissed some players off. And we know, guys.
Pissed one player off in particular, Marchand.
And well, it pissed the whole bench off, because if you saw the whole bench chirping at him, Lars Eller, and yes, Marchand, it's very easy to pick it out and say, what a rat. Why would he do it? If it was another guy, maybe not as much hype around it. But listen, he's the smallest guy on the ice. Yes, Lars Eller is not a fighter. I get it. But you have to pay for your actions. That's the way I look at it. It's old school. It's maybe a little more dinosaur. It's old school. It's very old school. But guys, tell me this.
Back in the day, I would love every second of that.
Okay, but tell me this.
But now, guys, we got to worry about guy getting hit. Oh, he's suspended. So I don't even want to see it anymore.
Right. So be honest. Answer honestly. If that was the Leafs, 7-0, okay, in
Losing
Washington,
7-0?
okay, Eller scores that goal against the Leafs, 7-0.
They don't have a guy like.
Hold on. No. And next shift, Kadri runs out there and does the exact same thing to Eller.
Suspend Kadri 25 days.
Are you guys not pumped? No. Stop. No, but don't be biased. Just be honest. You're
telling me to be biased. You're telling me to be biased by putting myself in the situation of the Maple Leafs. That's you saying, okay, be biased.
No, if that's Kadri doing the same thing,
so
or any Leaf player, Morgan Riley, doing the same thing, are you not saying, attaboy, way to make him learn his lesson?
My point of it is that's slowly being taken out of the game. That's what it's about. You don't see it much anymore, right?
100%.
So that's why I would say 100%. That's why I would say it would be a brutal play. It doesn't matter who's doing it, because no one's running around doing it anymore.
Right? I don't think he does that if Tom Wilson is in the game too.
If Tom Wilson's in the game,
he doesn't do that.
Probably not.
No.
If Tom Wilson's
on the ice, definitely not.
He's not.
If he's on the bench, maybe.
No,
but if he's on the ice, there's no shot. Yeah.
Wilson would have jumped off the bench.
Probably. So I mean, it's
and then that would be that shit of him too.
Yeah, tit for tat.
Yeah, like is that what it's?
Well,
about?
You listen to a lot of these old school like if you listen to Brian Burke. Brian Burke was like,
he loved it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the old school guys.
And a bunch of the old school, a bunch of the guys that they're not even old school guys. The guys that have been in the NHL for the last 35, 40, 50 years, these guys. They say, what do you mean? The guy's chirping at your bench after scoring a 7th goal.
They like the fact that a guy's sticking up for his team. That's what they like.
You can't chirp like that, man.
I think there's some players that just look at it and don't even care about it because it happens.
For sure.
Right?
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you prefer what happened, a fight basically, Marchand fighting a guy that doesn't really fight, or do you prefer the next shift kind of takes a cheap shot run at him and possible injury?
Well, you could
because you know what I'm saying? Like some players will say, instead of fighting him, I'm going to lay him out. I'm going to catch him with his head down and knock him into next week.
But you could,
right? What do you almost prefer?
But you avoid that as a player. Like Eller can avoid something like that. He can't avoid Marchand chasing him down into the old end, drop the gloves.
Yeah, but you can't escape from a hit at all times, Ange. Like if you're gonna get hit, you have to.
At that point, he knows he's got
maybe
marked.
That game, but let's say next game, right? Let's say next game in November. Right?
Yeah, but Jay,
you mark your calendar.
You could hurt the guy just the same by doing what he did there.
I know. I'm asking.
What do you
prefer? What would you prefer?
There is no prefer. It's the same thing. You're attacking a guy.
Right.
Either way, you're attacking that guy. Okay. Now, whether it is part of the quotation marks code of hockey where the guy shouldn't be chirping after a 7th goal. Okay, maybe that's the case, but you don't need to go beat the shit out of him, man.
Well, I think it happened, but it happened in the...
Go knock him
Hold
over.
on now. But
Go
he
knock him over.
beat the shit out of him, guys. I don't think no one expected 5'5" Marchand to lay out Lars Eller like that.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why not? Because Marchand's a rat and Ehlers has never fought before.
Okay, Marchand has what?
So what are you
3 career
expecting there?
fights?
What are you expecting there?
He runs away from every fight
Yeah,
that a guy
he's fought Subban. I know he's fought Subban once. He's fought Cogliano.
He fights guys who don't fight.
And he fought... But he's not a fighter either. He's not a fighter either.
Yeah, he's just a cheap shot artist.
Cheap shot
He's
artist.
He's a cheap shot artist. He's a rat.
Darcy Tucker.
He's
I would
a rat.
compare him as a player to Darcy Tucker.
I wouldn't.
But Tucker fought
more.
fighters.
Tucker fought. That's why Tucker
fighters.
was the man.
Right. Tucker was more of
Back
a
it up. Now the next game that
aggressive...
they
He wasn't an elite player
now
like
the next game that they
Marchand is.
the next game that they play Boston, Wilson's going to be in the lineup.
Oh, 100%.
And Marchand is going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, then Wilson won't play another game for the rest of his career because he
No,
already
he'll
got a
still play.
20-game suspension. So the next game will be 40.
Or somebody else.
See you
Just
later.
goes, grabs him and
or
punches him out
Washington.
like
Or
Marchand.
Washington.
You know what? If that happens,
Because
Yeah,
he
like-
could get suspended for it.
Yeah, same thing.
right?
Same
If
thing.
Marchand doesn't drop his gloves,
Yeah.
then Wilson can get suspended. Which Marchand, I don't think he would drop his gloves against Wilson.
Well,
If he
then-
does, he's got balls. But
He's not dropping.
I could see Wilson doing that 100%.
So never mind Wilson. What if they
100%.
call somebody up from the A? Call somebody up from the A and say, Bud, you're up here for one reason.
To injure Marchand?
Not to injure. Just go after Marchand and make it known that you're going after him.
Yeah, so he's going to fight him. Okay. Big
Fight
deal.
him, hard
Big deal.
hits, always on top of him.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the way it's
That's
going to be.
fair.
then.
That's fine. Marchand made his bed. Now he's got to be ready
Okay,
for it.
I like
Absolutely.
that aspect.
Absolutely.
That you're
No,
fine
absolutely.
with that.
Yeah,
And the
you
worst
can't
thing
just get
is
away with it.
Ours,
Guys, but
Eller
back
there-
in the day-
But Eller there didn't even go out and hurt anyone in Boston. That's the
No.
thing.
No
No one
It's
got
just-
hurt by it.
it's
The
just
only guy
the-
that got hurt was him.
Right,
That's
he-
what makes it even worse.
Yeah,
There
it's
was
the outcome of that fight.
No
right?
one got hurt from it. He didn't go after anyone to hurt anyone. He skated by the bench and he celebrated a goal. These guys came out and they beat his face.
Would we be talking? But would we be talking about it if they scrapped? Marchand got maybe a little shot in. They tussled. They fell to the ground. Game over. We wouldn't be talking about it.
Well, no,
right? It's because Marchand landed those
Well,
two,
yeah, well,
those
that's
two
what
big
it is.
shots,
Well,
and
that's
yeah,
what it is.
and here we are. But I mean, yeah, we can go. It's kind of a new school, old school kind of mentality that is mixed emotions out there.
Boston's
And
in first place in the Atlantic.
Boston did win today
Good thing
against
you
Ottawa.
checked the standings,
Yeah,
right?
and before we move on, guys, I know we spent a lot of time on that.
Question in on Instagram
Oh
Live.
yeah.
Instagram Live question.
908. Thoughts on the Leafs play against the Sens?
They played horrible.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that they played against the Sens, or I didn't like the way they played against Montreal either.
Yeah,
You
I didn't
can't-
catch much
if
of
you're
that
gonna
game.
If you're gonna class yourself as an elite team, and that's what the Leafs are trying to do this year. They're trying to make that step into the elite category.
than Ottawa. That's for sure.
You can't lose games like that to Ottawa. I don't care. Yeah, okay, it's just one game, this and that. You can't look like that, and you can't lose games. Where was John Tavares in that game? Did he even play? Did he even play? Big Shot. Big Shot gets a hat trick. All of a sudden against Chicago. Where the hell was he in the Ottawa game?
That's why he came back and he played better against
you
Chicago because he played
No,
shit
you
against
Leaf
Ottawa.
fans are
Come
awesome,
on,
man.
invisible in Ottawa. I was watching with my father and I said, "Do you see John Tavares on the ice? Do you see him calling it? Did you see his name once anywhere?" It was like in the middle of the second period. I did
Poor
it.
Johnny T getting ripped already. Game 2 of the season.
Don't listen to this guy. Don't listen to
Show up every game. $11 million you're getting paid. Show up every
He
game.
will show up every game.
Did he though?
He was there. He
He's
showed up.
2 for 3.
He showed up for the
2 for
game.
3.
2 for 3 so
It's got to
far.
be 82 for 82.
I think he's
82 for
even now.
82 straight
He's
great
even now.
games.
He's even now.
So you're saying that because he played so well against
Yes,
Chicago,
yeah, 100%.
he makes up for.
Of
You know what it
course.
doesn't make up for?
Of
The
course.
L. The L.
But he came back and he got a win
The
for
number
his team.
one in the loss
After
column.
He,
Al,
played bad, he
the-
came back
yeah.
and he got a win for his team.
Play
If
every
he came
game.
back and he played bad and
Play
he got
every game.
another
Hockey
L.
night in Canada. His first game, Hockey night in Canada as a Leaf, and he shows up like that. Get out of here. Come on.
Well, what about the defense? What about the softies Anderson let up? Al, you can point fingers and other.
But that's
in
a
other
given.
ways.
That's a given.
That's a given. So they get a pass for
They
that.
get a pass
They
because
get a
they're
pass for
these
that.
shit. We
Who
know
was the
they're these shit.
defenseman that got his jock strap just dangled right off
All
of
of
him
them.
by Shabbat there on that
Ojiganov.
goal?
Speaking of Shabbat,
How do you pronounce his name?
Ojiganov.
Ojiganov?
Ojiganov? Where did this kid come from?
Leo.
Did he come from straight from the O?
No, they call him the O.
They call him the O?
Russian kid.
He came
Russian
from Russia.
I gotta look him up.
Yeah, he got undressed. That was a beautiful goal.
Like that?
But
Ozzy?
I think he's from.
He's from Russia.
Yeah.
They call him Ozzy.
Yeah.
He didn't come from
25 years old. He's Russian.
Yeah. Yeah, he got undressed. That was a beautiful goal by Thomas Chabot.
Okay, but honestly, you gotta play better against the shit teams.
Well,
it
happens, Al. It happens. It's early in the season. I don't think maybe in March.
And I
if
hate
you see a Leaf Ottawa game, you're not going to get the same.
I hate
outcome.
to give Tavares shit, okay? Because honestly,
Yeah,
every game I'm falling in love with him even more,
Well,
more and more.
Sure,
Okay,
no kidding.
so he's making me, like I said, fall in love with him. So
You have high expectations, and
absolutely. But okay, What about when they have to re-sign Matthews? He's better than John Tavares.
Yeah.
well, I mean, he's younger and he's got his whole
Guys,
career
he's
ahead of
He's
him.
going to sign more.
He's better than John Tavares.
Yeah, he's going to sign more.
Well, he's better than John Tavares is right now, or in general as a player.
I
since...
think
Right now, they look
when
at him-
they sign him, they have to pay him more than John
they will.
Tavares.
Yeah,
They
absolutely,
will.
absolutely. He's younger. He's
Marner
on his
looks
way to.
Sharp.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, he's
Marner
on his way to
looks
stardom, and that's the thing. I think you guys have something. Maybe this whole
That's why for this
Nylander
yes.
thing is maybe something that maybe needed to happen. And
Kapanen came up last night.
exactly,
and
you
stole
have
that spot.
Kapanen is.
Came in, scored a goal, played great on that line.
If
with Matthews.
Babcock
I'll tell you
trusts
something,
him
guys.
a little bit more, he
You
should
pay
get a lot of
Nylander.
time.
You pay Nylander 5.5, or you don't pay him at all.
He's not going to sign for
He's
that.
not signing 5.5.
What did I just
I
say?
think he might come to that. You're right.
What did I just say?
They
I
should trade
also
him.
heard.
You sign him 5.5 or nothing at all.
I heard that his father wasn't the easiest.
No, he was
teammate.
very difficult when
Probably
it
getting
came to
some-
signing contracts.
yeah,
as
he's
well.
getting
All he
some,
cared about was the money himself, and that's a
influence.
trickle down effect on your son
Fine.
as well.
If you're an athlete, that's your job. You should be caring about the money. You should be.
Right.
And if you don't want to sign for a certain amount, don't sign for a certain amount. But don't make it on the organization. Look bad on the organization when they don't sign him for that.
Yeah, because they were offering you money. They're offering you
This
a
is
lot
what
of
we're
money.
offering you to pay.
Yeah, but
This-
hold
you don't
on.
wanna-
Do you guys agree with what Shanahan did, coming out in the media and saying what he
Yes.
said
Yeah,
about?
Yeah, Shanahan can say what he wants.
Yes,
Yeah, you think that's fair?
That's a little bit of old school. Too.
Shanahan can say
That's
what he
very
wants.
old school.
A lot of
yeah,
people
it's
didn't
very
like
old
what he
school.
said.
It's
But
very
a lot
old
of people
school.
thought it was fine too. He's his boss. He could say that.
It's
not like
essentially
they're
you're
not
asking a
offering the
player
money.
to take less money because you want him
Well,
to worry
he
more
was-
about the team's
He
needs
was
than
comparing.
himself.
He was
Nothing wrong
comparing
with
him
that.
in Detroit, where some people took less money, and we can debate back and forth.
But the
whether-
argument there is
whether
those people, the players that took less money, were already seasoned veterans. This is Nylander's, so that's what people were saying. This is Nylander's first big contract.
Right, so even
It's-
more
it's-
reason to take
But
less
maybe
money.
it's unfair to him to ask him to take less money on his first big contract.
Then walk. Then walk.
That's fine. Yeah, and I think they should get a
ready to trade him.
He's in
defenseman.
the
They
best
have an
spot
asset.
to play for the Leafs right now. It's the
You
best.
don't want to play for the Leafs.
yeah.
In this, you don't want to play in the top 6 forward group of the NHL.
Some guys think like that.
Bye. See you
They
later,
say, "I'll
Nylander."
just go
Now I'm
somewhere
starting to get
else."
upset at this guy. Now I'm starting to get upset.
All right,
I'm
yeah,
ready to
let's-
trade him too.
All right.
Let's move on.
You don't want
guys.
to play with Matthews? Are you kidding me?
Let's switch gears.
For $5.5 million, you're not gonna play with Matthews?
In Toronto.
Get out of here.
Switch some gears.
Send them to Buffalo.
Get outta here.
Go play in the KeyBank Center.
Okay.
Guys, that arena sucks.
Yeah, Ange had a nice birthday present from my boy Marchand that night.
Oh,
4-0. Beat Boston
we get there
beat town in
quickly,
Buffalo.
Quickly. We get there 10 minutes late, okay?
So hold
guy
on, little
going-
backstory. Ange went to the Buffalo-Boston game in Buffalo for their home opener
And his
Yes,
birthday.
home opener.
and for your birthday.
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
Get there 10 minutes in. We get right to the beer. We got there late. Just the drive was crazy. But we go sit down. First shift, Marchand, this Buffalo guy behind me. Rat boy, rat boy.
You don't think he hears
He
that?
crosses the blue line, dekes out the defenseman, crossover to Pasternak, snipe top cheese.
Oh, that was a beauty goal.
I was like, oh, I can't talk anymore. But right
4
away.
assists that night.
But off topic, that arena,
arena
guys,
is
is
bad,
just
yeah.
it's garbage.
It is very bad. I remember being there about 5-6 years ago, and it was just.
Do they want to build a new arena in Buffalo?
I don't even think
They
they,
need
can.
one.
I don't know if they have the money or the space, but yeah, it's. I feel bad for the city and the team, but that is what they have. But they got a good young team coming up, so. That's probably the best news they have. So let's wrap up, guys. I know we went long.
And who
on
was that
NHL.
question from? Let's give them a shout out. Who was that question from?
Vic _908.
Vic_908. Thanks for interacting with us. Thanks for the question on Instagram Live. We're gonna come in and out with Instagram Live, guys. We're not gonna do the whole thing on it, but in and out. And when you hear it, when you see it, hop in, ask a question.
Yeah.
You'll be part of the show, which is kind of cool.
They'll be Monday nights.
Yeah,
keep an eye out for Monday nights.
Cool, right? You can be part of the show that way.
Okay, let's jump into our next topic in the starting five. Let's get moving along here.
NHL wrap up, quick little wrap up. Boston's in first in the Atlantic right now.
Okay, Al, you and your standings, man.
Okay, just wanna
keep throwing it out there.
Just point out that Boston's in first.
Okay, all right.
Let's we'll check back next week.
Yeah, let's move on. Next topic: NFL rundown. Another big, high-scoring weekend in the NFL. Some surprises, some not so big surprises with some players like Mahomes. I think, can you now admit he's the real deal? Do you still need to see more from him?
Absolutely.
You still need to see more from him. I think
was RG3 the real deal?
No, this is way better than
this
RG3.
This is way better than RG3.
This is way better than RG3, what he's doing.
Here we go now.
I think so. I believe so. But, yeah, I mean, the Thursday Nighter New England.
That's just my comparison, JP.
Yeah, I get it. You have a right to say it.
These flash-in-the-pan guys, they come in, they kill a league until the league adjusts to them.
Right.
Same thing like a hot hitter in baseball, rookie hitter in baseball.
But I think his arm,
right?
wow, his arm strength, his accuracy, just the way he throws the ball. I mean, he's not just running and dodging guys, because those guys are gonna get hit and they're gonna have to stop playing like that.
No,
the thing going with this kid is he's got an arm.
He looks great.
So yeah, and other games, New England took care of Indy handily in the Thursday Nighter game. What else did we have? Buffalo squeaked by a last-second field goal win against Tennessee.
Wow. Buffalo.
Hauschka with making a field goal, which was kind of a new thing this week.
Yeah.
Because everybody seemed to be. What's the deal with everybody missing field goals this year?
63-yarder.
Yeah.
I think I should probably go trial for a team, because I think I can make some of these field goals.
We saw a 63-yarder.
63, yeah. You have both sides of the spectrum. You have a Mason Crosby missing 4, and then you have a guy like Graham Gano hitting a 63-yarder for the win against the Giants, Carolina.
It went like 67.
Yeah, he nailed that. That went for, I think it almost went 70.
So Carolina beat the Giants 33-31. Graham Gano, 63-yard field goal to win it. I think that looks good on Odell and the crew there. I just don't like Odell's attitude. And when he nailed that 63-yarder, he was like, good.
Yeah.
Screw you, Odell. Be a team player. Stop calling out your guys, man. It's Eli Manning, two-time Super Bowl champion. You're gonna call out Eli Manning?
But he's got to get the ball, man.
He's frustrated, but Ange, do that in the locker room. Do that behind the scenes. To go on a show with Lil Wayne and start complaining.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessary. Even do it in the change room.
You think that's the first time these guys did it?
No, I don't think it is.
Antonio Brown did it. Live
I know
Instagram
these guys
in the
do.
playoffs
I know.
last year.
Yeah,
in the locker room.
I didn't like that either.
That's good.
I didn't like that either. I didn't like Antonio Brown doing that.
Keep it in the locker room.
At all.
Keep it in the locker room.
What's in the locker room should stay in the locker room in all sports.
Right.
Because that's a holy place. That should be where you can air your discrepancies. You want to tell a guy that he's a piece of shit? Tell him in the locker room.
Yeah.
You don't have to go tell everybody.
The problem is with some of these players, though, they want the stardom.
He's a loser.
They want the attention, right?
Yeah, they want the attention like a little fucking baby.
Yeah,
you want the attention. Get out of here.
And that's the case, right? And he had an amazing game. The Giants should have won that game.
Guys, Odell Beckham's a good. Hold on, they just walked in a run here. Game of the night.
Yes, Al, hit us up with the.
So we're changing it up a bit. Usually we've been watching football for the game of the night, but this game of the night tonight is the Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox playing in New York. Right now, Boston is winning 4-0. No outs, top 4, bases loaded. Mookie Betts just walked in a run, and Benintendi's about to hit a grand slam.
Let's watch.
So okay.
Everybody quiet.
Everybody be quiet. Watch this grand slam. Okay, so back to
football. The Cleveland Browns get their second win in their third overtime game in 5 weeks, which is nuts.
And everybody was wondering why we were talking so much about the Brownies.
See?
You see, guys?
You guys might have a shit record in NFL picks, but you nailed the.
But we nailed the Cleveland Browns.
Let's check
our Red Leaf Sports team. The Cleveland Browns come in with a big win in overtime. Green Bay lost. They were getting their ass kicked until a little last-minute resurgence, but they lost to Detroit.
Well, they lost to Detroit because their kicker couldn't hit the side
and
of a
they were
barn.
missing two of their starting
That didn't affect anything.
wide receivers.
That didn't affect anything, Jay.
Didn't affect much, but it did. And
How did that affect anything? Look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers.
no, I mean, yeah, he still put up 400 yards.
I'm gonna look it up
Yeah,
right now.
400 yards, 3 touchdowns.
There you go.
Yeah, he still went absolutely
So
nuts.
what does the wide receivers have anything to do with it?
Okay, I'm just saying they
No,
were
Mason
missing.
Crosby cost him the game. Period.
He did.
It was
He
cool
did, yeah.
after though, where Rodgers went up to him and said, "Dude, you know you're sick. You've
He's
been
legit,
You've
yeah.
been the best for us for how many years? We've been solid. So we'll give you a pass on this.
Could have one bad game.
Class act.
Yeah.
Class act. If it was Odell Beckham, we need a new fucking kicker. This is garbage. No.
He's so fired up.
Yeah,
here,
it's
man.
we're supposed to be tired and lazy because it's Thanksgiving.
No, it's good.
I was
Fired
fired
up.
up tonight. Thanksgiving.
Odell gets me going, man.
I'm gonna get going more. Le'Veon Bell going to the Eagles because they lost J.J.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
it, Connors.
Is that the new rumor?
Bye, guys.
love to see that.
Pittsburgh's
that would
rebuilding.
be-
The next
I love
2-3 years, we're rebuilding.
Fletcher Cox, they redid his contract. Open up, they got more cap
They
space.
got more cap.
Whoa.
They got
What's
one more
good?
time.
What's as good as a
What's
grand
almost as
slam?
good as a grand slam? An RBI.
Double.
Bases clearing?
Maybe
Bases
Double.
clearing double.
Double, yeah.
Bases clearing
Wow.
double for Ben.
7-0 Red Sox in New York. This must be a shocker to that stadium right now, which is
Like we have it on silent, but it's probably this silent.
it's this silent in the stadium right now. Okay, so I think that's we can wrap up. I want to slip in for Ange here. I'm gonna officially call it now, Ange. I tried to last week, but I'm gonna do it this week. Super Bowl hangover, Philadelphia Eagles. It's a real thing. It's happening.
I think it's a real
It's
thing.
happening. They might
think
turn
it's
it
a real
around
thing.
second half, but I think right now they're not clicking, and who knows? They can turn it around. That
Pittsburgh's
offense
back.
is-
I want to throw that in. Pittsburgh's
Pittsburgh
back.
is back. They had a monster game. James Conner, of course,
You know what? Is
went
Matt Ryan
absolutely
done?
nuts.
Matt Ryan, guys.
Matt Ryan's
Matt
Matt Ryan,
Ryan.
and he's going to put up his
You got-
offensive numbers,
Has Julio
but
Jones done anything this year?
No.
Is he
yeah.
even
Julio
playing?
Jones
He
didn't have.
hasn't. He plays.
I
but
thought
he
he.
hasn't.
Ant, I was playing against Ant in our fantasy league this weekend.
I don't care.
Nobody
I know,
cares about fantasy.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk
We're
Ant
We're
then.
not
Talk about
talking
the players.
players.
Talking about play.
the
Julio Jones
players.
didn't have a catch until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was crazy. In a shootout game like that, too. Like, it wasn't like it was a 9-6
Pittsburgh
game.
was a
But I'm
shootout.
saying, though, it wasn't like it was like a
When I
9-6
see
game.
him on the field
Like,
and he's just jumping around and he's celebrating with the other guys that are getting touchdowns, which is great.
yeah.
He's just not getting the ball.
He's
he had
not.
a little hamstring problem
Yeah.
throughout the week. Maybe that
That had something
held
to
them
do
back,
with it.
but
They saved them for the fourth
And their
quarter.
wide
About,
receivers are good.
Can we do a little Jason Garrett clap?
Oh, Jason Garrett clap for the
Clap.
fourth. The punt in overtime on 4th and 1 that basically handed
I don't
the
understand how
Houston
you do that.
Texans
How do
the
you do
game.
that? You might as well go for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just go
Yeah,
for
You
it.
don't go for it. Nobody's gonna give you shit after. You went for it.
But that's the boring
Let's
style
kick
of
it
Dallas
to the
right
team
now.
that could score points
Yeah.
to
when they
beat
get-
us,
Yeah.
or go for it, and then they might score points anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Get out of
It
here.
is what it is.
Garrett gone. Dak
Okay.
Prescott not a quarterback. Trash.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Zeke had a quiet night.
So
too.
no, this is the
Zeke
thing with
quiet
Dallas.
night, too.
Thing with Dallas is you shut down the run, which Houston did because they got a great defense.
that's
You
it.
shut down the run. That's all they have.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
They're not
JJ
gonna win
Watt,
anything.
Guys, just shout out to JJ Watt. He's amazing.
He's a monster.
Watt's
yep.
amazing.
JJ Watt's amazing.
JJ Watt and Clowney. Did you
And
watch
Clowney,
Clowney last
yeah.
night?
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Big defensive presence there for the Texans. But okay, let's wrap up our NFL picks. Al, you want to
Yeah, let's
go
start
ahead
with
the
UFC.
next topic?
We'll do the UFC next.
Whew, a lot of action. If we haven't had a lot of action already,
Now, disclaimer. I don't know much about UFC.
I'll piggyback us here. I'll piggyback us
You're
here.
like the biggest UFC fan I know.
Don't you wear your like affliction T-shirts
Oh, you
out
remember-
every time?
I remember you used to buy UFC gear all the
Yeah,
time.
this
The
guy's
hats,
Tap
UFC
out? Didn't you wear tap out shorts?
I wear those gloves.
yeah.
Ken Shamrock
Those
gloves.
fighting gloves?
Ken
Is that what
Shamrock
they're
gloves,
called? I
guys.
wear those to
Affliction.
work every
You had
day.
the affliction tracksuit.
It helps
back
with my
in the
carpal
day.
tunnel.
You're a big Chuck Liddell guy.
Yeah.
No, GSP. GSP was my guy.
GSP.
Anyways,
So yeah, I'm gonna
Full
give a.
disclaimer.
I'm
He
gonna
likes
give.
the little French boys.
I'm gonna give a quick rundown. UFC 229 this past Saturday. Before I get into the major fight, I want to shout out the main card, which I'm also not a big UFC fan. at all.
We have to talk about it.
But what I witnessed this weekend, this Saturday night, was unbelievable entertainment, and that's coming from a guy who watches maybe 3 big fights a year, maybe 2.
Well, that's all there is, though.
No. There's one every month, every couple months.
Nah, come on.
There's pay-per-view, yeah, but
I
there's
know,
the big
I know,
ones.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Certain people watch all of them. I get it.
The heavyweight match between Derek Lewis and Alexander Volkov. Guys, I don't know if you caught any of these clips.
Nope.
So, Derek Lewis, they call him the Black Beast. He's a big boy.
Is he the guy who said my balls?
Yeah, he took his shorts off after the match, and he said his balls are hot. That's why he took
balls
his...
are hot.
Yeah, so he was getting...
I saw that fight. I saw the whole fight.
You saw it? No,
Yeah,
you didn't.
I absolutely saw the whole fight.
Okay. He was getting dummied, basically, by this Russian
the last 4
Volkov.
fights.
Okay? He was getting dummied by this Russian Volkov. Big boy. And no joke, guys, and people who didn't watch...
looked like he was 7'9".
Yeah, like he was
He's
a monster.
But he is a monster. He looks like
So-
Drago. They call him Drago.
Yeah. So, guys, no joke. 10 seconds remaining in the fight. Derek Lewis lands a shot. Looked like he snapped Volkov's neck back.
Yeah, he did.
And he crippled to the ground. 10 seconds left in a fight that he was going to lose. Hands down. 10 seconds left, guys. Knocked him out.
Maybe-
one shot.
Maybe his balls were too
His
hot.
balls were too hot, and he wanted to
end the
get
fight.
that fight.
Volkov,
Balls are sweating.
Volkov was going to win that fight.
Volkov was going to win that fight,
Volkov
hands
had
down.
that fight in the bag. He had just basically defend for.
I couldn't believe
10
it.
more
10
seconds, yeah.
It was unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like that. And then, obviously, the main story that's been the story for the past few days and will continue probably to be a story for the coming weeks. Conor McGregor versus Habib. I'm going to try and pronounce this. Habib Nurmagomedov.
Not even close.
Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov.
Got it. That fight on its own was entertaining. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with the fight. It was a great match. A lot of hits. Habib, at the end, got Conor in a neck hold, in a choke hold.
Neck hold. That's gonna go over well.
That'll go there with the...
That's gonna go over well. with
What's the
UFC
actual
fans.
term?
I don't know what the hell.
Sleeper hold.
No, it wasn't a
headlock.
sleeper.
Speaking of the
No, it wasn't a
sleeper.
headlock.
I was surprised.
I think they called it a neck crank.
I was surprised
a
that
neck crank is the official
I was
term.
surprised that the ref didn't lift up the guy's arm and let it drop.
let it drop?
And lift it up again and let it drop.
No, he had
and
him.
lift it up for a third time, and then he just went, "I'm gonna get you."
No, he put him in, and Conor tapped out fairly quickly, and then Habib proceeded to throw some words at him.
On. The whole let's talk about the fight a little bit first.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor standing up against him, they're similar, very similar.
Very similar.
Conor can win very easily if they.
But Habib got in that one shot that knocked him.
Conor could go. He can get into.
Could,
If
yeah,
you want to
he
get
could
into
fight
a, if you
for
want to get into
sure.
a hitting match, kicking
For
match,
sure.
Conor can go
sure.
toe to toe with pretty much anybody in
With
the world.
anybody, yeah.
So Khabib's a monster. He used to wrestle with bears.
Literally, yeah.
When he was a kid.
When he was a
Literally.
kid, he used to wrestle with
Literally.
bears. So you're wrestling with humans now. It's a little bit different, but
If I have a son, I'm probably gonna see if he wants to wrestle big.
makes sense. Rush is really weird, man, but effective.
It's definitely effective for this
That
guy.
stuff doesn't fly. You see that here, you get arrested. The parents will get arrested.
Yeah.
You can't even wrestle with your little dog. Like
Yeah,
that.
you can't do
get
that.
arrested.
You get
No,
arrested.
that's he's a different breed
But
for sure.
okay, so Khabib is a monster. As soon as he got him on the ground,
Oh yeah, and he did get him on the ground a couple times when Conor recovered, but that last time you can see Conor was tired, and you just saw it coming slowly.
that's
and
what he was
slowly.
trying to do the whole fight.
Right, and that's all he needed
Whole
to do
fight.
because as soon as he got Conor down,
And he tapped right away. I mean,
and that's all he had, or else he would have been knocked out. Right.
Here's a question: if you make $100 million, would you want to go fight?
yeah,
You cashed in $100 million.
it's a sport, man.
they're bred though for that.
100 million,
edge.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
sport,
that's
dude.
respect. It's pride. You don't want to get your ass
That's a
kicked.
sport.
You don't want to
That's
get
look at these
embarrassed.
guys.
Especially now, social media. You're gonna be the dummy on social
of course
media
he
now
wants to-
for who knows how long, right?
You know, you got these guys signing like baseball. They're signing $100 million contracts, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to play after that contract's over? Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
because
but
it's
baseball's
baseball.
not going on.
You're
in
not
the
getting your
octagon,
face
getting your-
smashed in. Yeah.
But that's
smashed
their
and-
That's-
version
yeah.
of their
These
passion,
guys
right?
aren't
That's their
These
passion.
guys aren't jumping in the crowds if someone.
Yeah, and that's
They got to that point.
we're not even getting into that.
Fighters like
juiciness.
that get to that point without making any money.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they do it for free
Yeah.
for the longest time.
Yeah.
So once they make some cash, it just doesn't leave you. That passion just can't leave you. It's still in you.
Yeah.
So you want to fight. You want to prove that you're the best until you're not the best.
And well,
Right?
Khabib showed that it definitely wasn't just about the money, as he had a vendetta and he
was upset.
wanted to make Conor pay and his team around him for the actions towards him, the pre-fight press conferences, and all the things that Conor McGregor was saying about him, his family, his father, his religion. It
That's
pretty
McGregor's
personal.
thing. That's
It got,
McGregor's-
yeah, but it got really personal, and Khabib kept his mouth shut through the whole thing, and I think
He
something
seems-
erupted.
Yeah,
Something
after the fight.
erupted inside him to make him jump out of the ring and drop kick someone into the stands with regular people sitting there,
Yeah.
regular fans, and then for a few of his teammates, people that he trains with, to jump into the octagon and come after Conor McGregor.
It seems like Khabib is a classy guy, from all accounts. Coming up
to the fight,
coming up
yeah,
to the fight,
he
right?
had a composure. He didn't
was
bark
waiting for
back.
that the whole
saying the
time.
right
Yeah.
things. McGregor's getting drunk at the press conference. He was saying to McGregor's like, "What's that gonna do? What's whiskey gonna do for you?
Yeah.
What's like this guy's drinking whiskey? What's that gonna do for?" And McGregor's just talking. Something snapped when he won.
Oh yeah,
and he just
he was
lost
holding it in for a long time.
Now, be it spontaneous or maybe it was planned, perhaps that would happen
I
at
think
the
the
end.
whole thing was planned. I think it was all
You
set
think
up.
so, Ant?
It's tough to
Yeah.
say though. It's
I
I
tough
know
to
you
say.
mentioned that
No,
before, but I don't know, man. To him
think
to
so,
drop kick
man.
into the stands,
Yeah,
that's
Dana White said, "Here, I'll give you
yeah,
another
that's
10 mil.
risky though, man.
Just jump, make me relevant again."
What if someone gets hurt there? And I mean, even like his,
don't care, man.
yeah,
But even his corner jumping, somebody from his
Jumping
corner
in.
jumped in
Okay,
and beat the
maybe-
shit out of.
maybe
Sucker
all
punched
that-
McGregor.
Maybe all that
He
wasn't-
Marchand McGregor.
he Marchand McGregor, yeah,
Maybe all that wasn't set up.
set up, but he,
But some of them might have said,
Some
"Okay, you
post
jump
fight.
in, and whatever happens after that happens."
So-
Dana
yeah.
White's standing up there. This is bad for the UFC.
no, that's
This is
that's a
bad for
whole
both
that's a whole
brands.
load of shit. Yeah.
What is that
That-
bad
yeah.
for both brands?
That-
and
yeah.
the UFC.
Vince McMahon
No
would love
way.
every
Oh.
second of that.
Yeah.
Vince
That's what
McMahon.
I'm talking about.
That's the one thing I'll agree with you
I
with.
respect
Hank.
the
Yeah.
fighters. The fight, I don't think was set up. I don't think they orchestrate who's going to win the actual
Right,
match.
right.
That stuff after, I think a little bit of it is somewhat for sure. Saying, I'm going to do this then.
I don't
and
know.
then
Even
you're
if it
talking
wasn't,
about
They
it.
hated each
even
other.
if it
What about if
wasn't,
they're talking about that? They're doing it so just in case the fight is a dud, at least you have that
Yeah.
to talk about it after.
I don't know if I'll jump on that, but I do agree with you with Dana White. His words and his actions are, I think, a load of shit. Him playing the whole card like he did when McGregor threw the trolley through the bus window.
He was in court for that for 5 fucking
Who
minutes.
else? Talk about
Dana
UFC.
White said, "Oh, I don't know if Conor McGregor will ever fight for UFC again." And then months later, he gives him the biggest
Of all
fight
time.
of all time
time.
in history.
And you know what?
Biggest grossing
yeah.
pay-per-view event of all
Yeah.
time.
You know what?
He wasn't going to fight ever again.
There might not have been
Come
a
on,
rematch,
guys.
but now there's definitely going to be.
I don't know. I don't know. You think so?
What-
Why
do you
wouldn't they
would-
rematch
if
this?
somebody was going to give you
Why wouldn't they do it
$100
again?
million in your pocket and you're Dana White, let's just say
No.
I don't
I'm
know how
saying-
much he gets or how,
No,
I don't know
I
how
think
much
he
his fighters
will.
get.
I think he will, but I am. Now you put into how much you believe with this. The Las Vegas, the Nevada Gaming Commission. They're saying they might not allow
There you go.
Khabib to fight.
Yeah.
They might not. The
you
Americans might not even give him his green card
Okay,
to fight
so
in the
fight
states.
in a different
so they
country.
said Tim McAuliffe said rematch Dublin, Ireland.
Fine.
Let's do it. That would be that would be a
can't-
war.
you
That would be a war.
No, they should do Rocky
That
IV
would be
and
a
go to
war.
Russia.
Did you guys see the videos? Even like, and that's the scary thing about all this. This is going beyond fighting. If you saw some videos of the fans in the stands and the fans on the Las Vegas Strip, like there's Russian and Irish people
saying.
fighting.
Yeah.
really attempting to injure each other.
Right.
And this is becoming this is becoming culture, this is becoming pride, and I think that's where it's getting a little way out of hand.
First of all, you can't have it
Way
in
out of
Ireland.
hand.
You can't have it in Russia.
Go to Russia.
No, yeah.
If Rocky could do it.
If Rocky could go to
Have it in
Russia.
Hamilton.
Have it
then.
in the Philippines.
Yeah, have it in-
Thriller in Manila, too.
Well, Muhammad Ali, he was notorious for this trash talk.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, for
Two
sure.
guys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
For sure,
but he
right?
did it in
So,
more of an
he
eloquent,
went after
witty.
some guys hard.
He did.
too.
He did.
went
He
after
did.
some guys pretty hard religion.
He did. Yeah, maybe.
and
Yeah, you're right.
Other stuff too.
Yeah.
So you see it a lot.
Yeah.
But his corner wasn't jumping out of the.
Right. Exactly.
If
Yeah.
He would have lost.
Right.
Beat guys.
Everybody's got to be. If one person goes mental, it's up to everybody else in his corner to chill out.
And in every other sport, every team hates each other. Every guy hates each other.
But anyway, so I
Teams aren't
think the
jumping in
big
the
the big
crowd.
loser in this, guys, is the guy who fought in the co-main event, Tony Ferguson. He's supposed to be the next guy to fight the champion.
Oh, that was a good fight too.
That was
yeah,
a
I
good
didn't
fight.
mention that.
So he's supposed to be the guy that gets to fight the winner, Khabib
Right.
or Conor McGregor.
McGregor.
But that's not going to happen for a long time
Yeah,
for
he
him
might
now.
not get his shot.
Right?
for
He's
a
going to
while.
probably have to have two more matches
Yeah.
before he can get that chance.
That's true. Yeah, that was a great fight too. The guy he was fighting, Pettis, broke his hand. That's why he had to stop. But that was a great fight too. But I think let's wrap this up with it was a shitstorm kind of night when Mike Tyson is even tweeting and saying that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like when Mike Tyson thinks it's crazy, you know shit got out of hand.
Mike
So,
Tyson thinks it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
That was it was awesome to see as a casual UFC fan. It drew me right in. I was watching post game interviews till 2:00, 2:30 in the morning, guys, and for someone like me, I would never do that before. So it was awesome. I will 100% watch if there is a rematch. So looking forward to
Connor
that.
should go to WWE like Ronda Rousey.
I think he will for sure eventually, Ange. 100%.
It's
100%. It's written in the books already. Another few years.
Makes sense.
But
Absolutely.
I don't know if he could be PG, man, because he's hard on that mic.
I know,
He's
but
gotta go-
he's got to listen.
tone
If
it
they
down.
throw
Don't
enough
be
money
PG.
to him, he'll be PG.
So like UFC fighters going to WWE is like European soccer players going to MLS.
To
yes.
MLS. Kinda.
Very, very. And I like that. I like that.
It's
analogy.
very similar, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
it's a
see
good
why I
comparison.
think it's all set up?
Yeah,
You see?
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's
Anyway,
a good comparison.
Khabib 27-0 now as a fighter. McGregor 21-4.
Yeah, he's gotten a couple losses
With
lately.
a boxing loss,
With a
too.
boxing loss
With a
added
boxing
in
loss.
there.
Boxing, that doesn't count.
Okay, let's wrap up the UFC and we'll jump into some MLB playoffs. Al?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Next
do
topic.
that. Let's do MLB playoffs.
So as we sit here tonight, as our game of the night is the Red Sox now smashing the Yankees 10-0, going into the fifth inning or the bottom of the fourth, I believe. This is the only series left.
This is it.
Why don't you give us a quick rundown of
So
the
let's do-
quick series that have ended,
The
started and ended.
So the Yankees took care of the A's in the wild card.
Yep.
Very easily.
Very easily,
That was a quick game.
More of a dud than I was hoping for. But
So in the first series, the first NLDS the ALDS in for the Americans, first ALDS.
yep,
Is Cleveland and Houston. That series is over already.
it finished before I thought it even started.
Well,
I was-
Cleveland was still celebrating from a month ago.
Yeah, they were still
What did I
celebrating
say?
their.
They could be out within a week. They were out in 4 days.
They were.
Yeah,
They
that
didn't
was.
win another game.
No one. I don't know if anybody saw that coming though. That's.
You know what? A lot of people. Wow.
It's too bad because that series had a lot of potential to be a really,
Houston's
really
that
good.
much better.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think Houston is that. You know what? Houston. Well, I was gonna say Houston's pitching is that much better, but Cleveland's got good pitching too.
Looking at the regular season, when you're throwing out Kluber, Carrasco, and Bauer, I mean, you got to think you're getting a win at least from one of those three. But
Their division
they're going,
sucks.
yeah, and they're also going up against Verlander, Cole, and Keuchel.
Yeah.
So it's a toss up there, and Houston got the better of them.
Who's
So
in Cleveland's division? They play a lot of easy
Minnesota,
games.
yeah,
They
Detroit,
roll through
I
the
believe.
regular
That's
season.
why they shouldn't have been celebrating for winning
Yeah.
that division.
Yeah.
A month
Like
ago.
what? You beat Detroit, Kansas City, Chicago, and
Minnesota, yeah.
all year? You beat up on them all year?
Yeah.
Not a tough.
Yeah, they
division
haven't.
at all.
They had an
Edwin
easy,
didn't come through. JD
yeah,
didn't
the
come
No,
XJs.
none of the guys. I mean,
No one
Lindor
did.
hit a couple jacks.
Yeah. when they
Jose
didn't
Ramirez.
matter.
Jose Ramirez.
Missed
Did you hear his name once this
No.
series?
Donaldson had one hit.
One hit,
And
and
three.
Donaldson
Encarnacion
had
one hit.
One hit.
And what else? So that was a
That
quick
was
one,
that series. Houston
and-
won that very easily. I'm afraid to see the winner of this series that we're watching now, Boston Yankees. I'm afraid for them because they have to face Houston in the next series in the ALCS.
Mr. Verlander, guys. Playoff Verlander.
Yeah, nothing's better than
Verlander's becoming one of the best pitchers, one of the best playoff pitchers in MLB history.
Yeah.
David Price is right behind him.
Poor David Price, man.
David Price, they should move him to the pen.
That's
did.
something.
Did they?
I think they did.
So they should
For
move him
this
to the
game,
pen.
they're- yeah.
Because
Imagine his first win comes out of the bullpen.
it's fine, but that's fine if his first win comes out of the
Yeah,
bullpen
get him off.
because it seems like he can't start in the playoffs for whatever reason.
It's so weird. It's just it's.
And if you
strange
can't
how-
start in
how-
the playoffs, and you're better, and when was it last year? He came out of the pen, right? He came out of the pen.
he did, yeah.
For Boston last year in the playoffs, and he did well. So why not put him in that position again?
Yeah.
You know what Blue Jays doing well, who we never guessed would? Steve Pierce.
Steve Pierce is a
Stevie
beauty.
Pierce for the Red
Steve
Sox.
Pierce.
yeah.
I would have guessed he was doing well. No
Yeah,
problem. I
and-
think he's just a professional baseball player.
And the situation that he's in, where he's coming off the bench whenever you need him, he's not a full-time player.
Perfect.
He's
he
perfect for that
embraces.
role.
He embraces that position. He hits when he needs to hit, and like I said, he's just a professional baseball player. Gets it done.
Yes.
I love Steve Pierce.
Yeah, he's always been
Cheering for him. I'm cheering for that guy. I hated him when he was with the Orioles.
Yeah, with the Orioles
what
for
a
some
piece of
reason.
garbage he
I
was.
know.
Guys go to the Orioles.
And the
they
Rays.
become shitbags.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean that's just the
You
Orioles.
know what?
Yeah, they
They're
become-
finally getting rid of Buck.
Yeah, they
Showalter.
finally got rid of
Like
Buck
the
Showalter.
Bucks.
You know
Fine.
who would be perfect for the Orioles team? You know what manager would be like? Oh, of course, right? You'd say of course, John Farrell.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, John Farrell.
or the guy to Texas, Bannister.
Bannister.
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
even
right?
better.
Of course.
yeah.
Even
Of
worse.
course they get a guy like Bannister.
Is
Ma-
Medios staying with KC?
I don't know.
I don't know. But you guys imagine one of those guys came to Toronto?
Farrell or Bannister?
Yeah.
No.
No
way.
No way.
No.
Or Showalter?
No
Won't be
way.
a guy like that.
One of
Can you imagine?
our buddies threw out a nice little prediction where Russell Martin might be the
Player manager?
player manager
The first player manager?
in how many years? Right?
That would
They're-
be nuts.
They're paying him enough for next year.
Yeah,
To do
might
that
as
job.
well.
They're paying him enough to do
So hold on.
To
He'd
do those
be
two
the
jobs,
manager and
Player
plus
Bullpen,
director of
coach.
PR, plus, right? You might as well get him.
It's
to do it.
happened in basketball. I know. I think it's happened in baseball. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, for sure, it's happened in baseball.
Yeah.
What about
We should
Paul
look that
Molitor?
up. I'd love for
Look
that up.
Paul Molitor to come, but he's
Look that
still
up.
with
Player
Minnesota.
managers.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if
I like
that'll
Molitor,
happen.
man.
So
But
let's get back to
yeah,
the.
let's go to the NL.
Let's go to the NL.
NLDS.
So right now, Houston's moved on. They're in the ALCS. They're going to play the winner of Boston and
Yeah.
Yankees, which it doesn't matter that Boston's up 10-0 in this game. They might win this game,
This
but the
is going to
series
5.
the series is far from over.
It's
It's
going to 5.
Boston Yankees. It's really cool. What surprised me in the Boston Yankees series is they haven't played since 2004 in the playoffs.
That was crazy stuff.
Really?
I didn't. They haven't played in the playoffs in 14 years.
Wow, that was 14 years
That
ago.
was 14 years ago. Nuts.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
NL.
Pete,
So
hold on. Pete Rose was the last guy.
There we go, Pete Rose. I was gonna say
1984.
Pete Rose.
He
I
was
was going to say
gambling
Pete
Pete Rose.
Rose. Yeah, Pete Rose is beautiful.
Oh, he had a good insight.
Put him in the Hall of Fame. The guy's getting old.
I think Pete Rose deserves to be
Give
in the Hall
him-
of Fame.
no.
Do you know when he's going to be in the Hall of Fame?
as after he passes
The
away.
day after
Yeah.
he dies,
No.
they're going to
Yeah.
drop the ban. Absolutely.
There's
they don't want to
already-
give him the satisfaction.
yeah, there's
they don't want to
already
give him the
reports.
satisfaction.
They're doing it
Especially
on
'cause he's
purpose.
he's a dirtbag, man. This guy just keeps doing weird shit all the
Yeah.
time. So
He looks weird.
But
his
listen
numbers,
now,
when he
exactly.
dies,
The Hall of
his
Fame is not
numbers-
about him being a Nobel Peace Prize winner.
I'm just telling you
it's
why.
about his play on the field.
I'm just telling you why.
I know.
That's
I hear
happening.
you. Let's jump. We keep getting away from the NL,
That guy was safe.
NLDS
This
here.
first base coach has made like
So,
four.
and
first base
Angel Hernandez is umping the first base in this NLDS.
This is the
game.
fourth gone to review. Fourth time.
They've had to review a play 4 times.
Safe
And,
by a
and,
mile.
and this guy,
Wow.
was that Didi?
Yeah.
Didi was safe by a mile, he called him out.
Can we finally jump into the NL?
Yes!
Holy.
Dodgers cleaned up.
Dodgers cleaned up. Atlanta. Sad to see Atlanta, but
It's
it's
not
a
sad
young
to see.
team.
Young team.
Exactly. I'd rather LA go through and Milwaukee plowed through the Rockies.
Crazy.
My favorite for the NL. That team is gonna be a threat with the Dodgers. It's gonna be an awesome series. So
Dodgers-Milwaukee will
yeah.
not be an awesome series.
Why not?
Dodgers is just going to steamroll.
No.
Straight
think
to the
so,
World
man?
Series.
I don't know, man.
Rockies
I
had
would watch
0
that.
hits 0 runs in
I would
19
watch that,
straight
man.
innings.
So
Yeah.
what?
I would watch.
They're not the Dodgers.
Rockies are
May I remind you, I called the Dodgers in the World Series.
so.
Oh, what do we have here? So we have another
Brees.
game of the night.
Breaking news.
Drew Brees.
NFL record: 71,968 career pass yards.
That just happened.
just happened for Drew Brees.
And it was a touchdown.
And
And
it
it
was
got
a-
like a 50-yard touchdown.
that wouldn't happen to have been Michael Thomas. Was it Anthony?
No.
Nobody
Jay-
and
think
again
so.
and again
Didn't think so.
nobody cares about your
Didn't
fantasy
think
team.
so.
No.
Okay.
Jay, I was looking at it.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Michael, there's his wife.
You would have been a lot more
Family,
upset.
That's nice.
You
Guys,
seem
Drew
too
Brees
cool.
is a classy.
They're gonna
Class
stop
act.
the game for him. That's
Class
nice.
act. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So that's.
So I think LA's still gonna come out of that Milwaukee series, the NLCS, because
Oh, they give him a look. They give him a paper right when the record happened.
they gave him a certificate right on the field.
The ref-
Where did the ref get it
the
from?
ref brought
Did he have
him
it in
a
his back
certificate.
pocket?
Wow.
all-time passing yardage
Wow.
leaders.
That's
Good for him.
hardcore.
Good
Best
for him.
quarterback in history? Question mark.
No.
I wouldn't say best quarterback in history, but he's definitely
He's
up
thrown
there.
the farthest
definitely
out of any other
the
quarterback.
most yards. Yeah, definitely the most yards.
But that
Oh.
goes to the system that he plays in.
That
Oh,
goes
for
right
sure.
to the Hall.
Yeah, that
ball's
ball
going
goes right to the Hall of Fame.
The guy's wearing white gloves. Carrying that
President
ball.
and CEO of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He just handed the ball to. All right, so I think we're safe to say we're wrapping up baseball here.
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
was-
action next week. We'll have to talk about
We'll update it again next
for
week.
sure. And let's jump into our last topic of the starting five.
Soccer.
Our soccer recap. Not too much action
Nothing.
from this
is
past
gonna
weekend.
this is going to be the quickest
This will be a
segment
quick one.
of the starting five's history because ho hum in the Serie A, like nothing spectacular happened.
All the teams that should have won.
Won.
Milan 3-1 over Chievo.
Yeah.
Inter 2-1 over Spal. Napoli 2-0 over Sassuolo. Insigne goal of the week, I'd say. Beautiful goal. Roma 2-0.
They're still 6 points back.
Yeah, Roma 2-0 over Empoli, and last but not least, Juventus 2-0 over Udinese.
Yeah, no
Ronaldo gets on
surprises.
the
You
score
know what?
sheet again.
And with City, you get weeks like this where everybody that's supposed to win is going to win. And this is
Well, it's a
actually
matter of time. Yeah,
It took 8 weeks for this to happen.
to happen. Yep.
Right? Everybody that was supposed to win kind of won. Roma won.
Yep. And I guess we can also just quickly squeeze in that Nations League is back in action this week. Don't know if you
Do
guys
I have
knew.
to explain that again?
No, you don't. You don't. We're already running late.
Refer to episode 1 if you want an explanation on how nations. I think it was episode.
Was it
one.
episode 1? Might have been a test run.
Okay, listen to all of our episodes if you want an
Yeah,
explanation.
try and find it in one of the episodes.
Just Google it.
It's
That's
basically
hard. It's hard to figure out even Googling it.
Italy plays Poland, I believe, on Sunday.
Is Jovinko playing?
This Sunday. Jovinko has been called to back to the national team, and actually, good segue here for me, Ange. I was at the TFC game this past Saturday evening. Who TFC unfortunately was eliminated officially from playoff contention.
Can we call that call that an MLS Cup hangover?
That is an MLS Cup hangover. I was at the game, and now I'm going to give you guys a little
Scouting
interesting
report?
stat. No, a little interesting stat. So, my game, the game ended 2-1 for the Vancouver Whitecaps. My last 4 games at BMO Field watching TFC, I've seen a grand total of 1 Toronto FC goal.
Really?
Those 4 games include the first championship final that they made, that they lost in penalty kicks to Seattle.
Jay, stay away from BMO
Okay,
Field, man.
before this game, I went 9180. What's my math here? 9180.
Carry the 7.
9180 to
A long
70. Almost 300 minutes without seeing a goal in total, guys. I saw 3 0-0 games before this Saturday.
Jay, what? Stay away from
Guys,
BMO
okay.
Field, man.
So I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, "What the hell?" I can't come to these games anymore because I am a huge mush when it comes to that. And what I wanted to get to though was Alphonso Davies looks fantastic.
For the Whitecaps?
The Canadian kid. He's a big boy and he's
going
fast.
to
Bayern Munich.
Bayern.
Lastly, I think there's some trouble in paradise with Jovinko and TFC. I think he's played his last year.
Yeah.
After the final whistle went, He went to a Vancouver Whitecaps player, exchanged jerseys, and sprinted right off the field, straight down the tunnel. Didn't shake any player's hands. His teammates, other players, they didn't go to the crowd and give the claps like they normally do.
So here's the
okay.
thing.
He sprinted, and you saw the tension too during the game. He was half-assing it a bit. Players and him and other players on TFC were kind of at each other, yelling at each other during the game. I think he's fed up. I think he's upset about the no contract extension. And I think he wants
Nothing to be upset about because his game has dropped off a little bit, right?
I think it had. That's what I'm saying. It has something to do with it. I think it goes hand in hand. I
Right.
think he's very
How long
upset.
has he been here?
Also,
I think
now
he's been 4 or 5 years now.
here's a conspiracy. Not a conspiracy. It's just a theory. Now he's going back to the national team for the first time since he's been in the MLS.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Could that be a little nudge saying, okay, I'm coming back to Italy,
Yeah.
so you might as well put me on the national team now
Yeah.
because I will be back in
Yeah,
Italy.
that's why they gave him his shot back. That's. I think so. I think he's played his last
Now
season
he'll
here.
go to a team like
Spall?
not
Hello.
even Spal, like I don't even know, like
Genoa.
like a middle of the maybe Fiorentina,
Frosinone.
not Frosinone.
He would
Middle
be.
of the pack
He would be a savior.
Lazio,
Frosinone,
maybe a
man.
team
He
like- I was
would be
gonna
like
say.
a.
Maybe a team like a Lazio.
Like
or
not
Yeah.
a middle
maybe.
tier, not an upper tier, like a second tier.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
A
call it.
Lazio, Fiorentina.
He's already wearing red. I could see
Yeah.
him on. Go to Milan.
No,
Right?
don't go to Milan.
Go to Milan.
I'd rather him go to Roma or Fiorentina.
I'd rather him go to hell.
But okay,
I
so
don't
yeah.
like Milan. I don't like Milan.
Nations League is coming up. Italy plays Poland next Sunday, and there's a lot of some other matches coming up this week. I believe starting on.
So let me just give a shout out
on Wednesday.
to Piatek, the guy from Genoa. He scored 9 goals. He's leading the league. He's leading Serie A right now.
Is he at 9?
9. He's playing for Genoa. He's only played 7 games.
Wow, making Ronaldo look like an amateur.
Ronaldo's got 4.
Wow. Okay, let's wrap up our starting 5. As expected, there was a lot of action, and we definitely went very long on our starting 5. But that's always a good sign because there's lots to talk about.
Yeah,
and
it was good. It was a
we're
good
giving you
starting
guys
5.
a lot of information.
Al was fired
out there.
up.
I was very fired up. Maybe it'll calm down over the break. You're gonna
Like,
Feels the theme
like,
song.
like Marshall in Paw Patrol, I'm fired up.
We don't have kids, Al. So there's
Oh, sorry.
3 guys here with no
That,
kids that didn't get
Let's
the
get to that
reference.
break.
Yeah, we didn't get that reference.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe some of our listeners with
get to
kids
that break.
definitely did. So yes, guys.
Okay, whoever has kids, you're gonna really laugh at that. That's funny.
But yeah, that wraps up our first half of the Red Leaf Sports podcast and our starting 5. And we're gonna hit you guys with a quick little musical interlude, and we'll be right back with the second half. And you guys are listening again to the Red Leaf Sports podcast. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the second half of the Red Leaf Sports podcast, episode number 5.
We're back.
We are back after a fiery first half,
Yep.
and we're gonna jump right in to our usual mainstay segment after the first half break.
Our Cellular Solutions NFL picks against the spread. We get our lines from the Score app.
Yeah.
Again, they're early lines, so we want to say that. We also want to say, please don't bet with us.
or please fade against our bets,
or fade against our
because
bets.
then you'd have a lot of money in your pocket
Every
because of
bet,
us.
every game that me and Jay have agreed on now, we are 0-7.
We're gonna jump into that, yeah.
We're 0-7-1. We're jumping in right away,
Right.
because that's news.
And that's our record when we agree on a game in the 5 marquee matchups. We are now 0-7-1 against Ange, our social media director, who's 7-0-1 against us now when we agree on a spread on a certain game. So if again you are listening and you are for some reason taking our advice,
You should,
fade our advice.
yeah, you should be a bet again. Yeah,
because
fade.
you'd be undefeated right now.
You would have made some money
You would
if
have
you
made
bet
some
against
nice
us
money.
every time. As per Social Butterfly, Ange has made some money.
So you're welcome.
You're welcome, Ange.
You're welcome.
Took Detroit this week.
And
Told
yeah,
you, buddy.
Detroit.
Took Detroit. You guys were both on Green Bay.
And-
I said, I'm going Detroit.
And we both took Houston.
You had to go Detroit. You had to go Detroit.
We lost the Houston game by half a point. We both took Houston by -3.5. But our overall records from last week, from the first 4 weeks, I'm 6-5. Al is 5-6, and we're also waiting on this game to end the Monday nighter. I have the New Orleans Saints by -6.5. Al has Washington by +6.5, and right now it's 26-13 New Orleans at the half. So that's a quick little recap of our last week picks, and we'll jump right into our 5 marquee matchups. Again, brought to you by Cellular Solution.
Cellular Solutions.
Our NFL weekly picks are brought to you by Cellular Solution. Cellular Solution is your one-stop Bell Mobility dealer for all your corporate business solutions. Their team of dedicated specialists manage your day-to-day mobile solutions. Contact Tom Gostich by phone at 905-264-2228 or by email at tom@cellularsolution.ca. Give your business the solution it deserves on Canada's fastest LTE network. Contact Tom Gostich by phone again at 905-264-2228 or by email at tom@cellularsolution.ca. With Tom and Cellular Solution, you're never without a solution.
Okay, all right, boys. So let's. I'm gonna start us off with the first game.
I just like saying it. I like saying Cellular Solutions.
Yeah,
It
the more you
warms-
say it, the
warms-
easier it becomes to say.
Warms up your voice, your vocal cords.
Okay, Thursday nighter. The Super Bowl hangover, Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants.
New York Giants.
The Eagles are favored by -3. I'm going to go first here, Al.
Okay.
Despite me being fully on board with believing that the Super Bowl hangover is official and real, for some reason, I'm still going to take the Eagles on the road in New York -3.
That means Ange has to take the Giants because I am also taking the Eagles.
Just jinxed them.
Oh, we
They're already 2-3, guys. They're 2-3.
so we might have just who knows? Philly might win by 1, eh?
Philly's gonna win.
Philly might
Ange.
win by 1 or
Philly's-
2.
We both say so that means it's gonna not happen, but it should.
So
We have to be right eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Maybe
So-
that's the game. So we're both gonna jump on Philly. I mean, Giants looked better this past week against Carolina.
They did.
But I don't know. I just can't see Philly losing a third straight game.
That's
It's-
why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going
hope
Philly.
not.
Well, you have a team that, again, Super Bowl hangover. Wentz is back. He's been back for what, 3 games now?
3 games.
2 games.
Yeah, he's still
So-
not fully himself. He's having great games, but you could tell that he's not running the ball at all. He's not
Right.
running the ball
No.
at all whatsoever, which is a big part of that offense last year.
Division game. It's going to be close, but I take Philly, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
Gotta shut Barkley down.
Yeah, that defense is going to have their hands full with Barkley and Beckham Jr. So that's the Thursday nighter. Al, you want to give your
So
hit us off with the
our marquee 1:00 matchup. We're selecting again a divisional game. We got the Steelers, who are underdogs in Cincinnati by 2.5 points. For this one, the Steelers are coming off a big win where it seemed like Ben and Brown are finally clicking again.
Getting on
a little
page.
bit anyway,
Yeah.
right? Brown's he just got over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is better than
it should be the norm for that offense.
That should
yeah.
be a low end game for
Right,
Brown, right?
right.
That's usually a low end game for Brown, but that's I think it's back in action for Pittsburgh. Cincinnati's at home. Cincinnati's a weird team though. They seem pretty strong.
Big comeback. We didn't give them much love in the first segment, first half of the show. They came back down 17-0. Won that game 27-17.
Scored 27 unanswered
points. Yep.
which is huge, right? But I'm going to take Pittsburgh
Okay.
because I think they're back, and I think that when Pittsburgh's playing, and if they're back, they can beat Cincinnati handily every single time.
I'm gonna go. I'm going to go against you here, Al. I'm going to
Perfect.
take Cincy. I just think I was looking and I had Pittsburgh at first. I had them almost right up until this segment. But just looking at it, I still think they have a lot of inconsistencies. And playing on the road, Cincinnati is at home. They've looked great these first 5 weeks. I just think I'm going to take them being at home. I'll stick with the home team in this division game. I think it's going to be close, and I think Cincy will squeak it out.
All right.
So that's the Sunday 1 o'clock. The Sunday 4 o'clocker has the
White hot Rams.
Yeah, the undefeated Rams at Denver.
They're not red hot. They're white hot.
They're white hot at Denver, and the Rams are favored at the moment by -7. They did lose Cooks and Cup at the end of that game this past week. I think there's still uncertainties with how long they might be out for, but I can't bet against the Rams, so I'm gonna take them. Denver looked very bad against the Jets team.
I don't know
this
how they
past
lost
weekend.
to the Jets
Yeah,
team.
it was very.
That's your classic travel to the East Coast.
Yeah, I guess.
A West Coast team traveling to the East Coast.
I guess,
you think?
yeah. But, I can't bet against them even on a spread of -7, so I'm going to take the Rams in that one.
Lucky for us, I can bet against the Rams. I think it's going to be a bounce-back game for Denver. Denver's got offensive weapons. They do. I mean, Keenum's...
But that's the thing. I think Keenum's inconsistency has hurt them a lot this year.
It has.
It
You're
has
right.
hurt
No,
them a
you're right.
lot because they do have a good offense. Their receivers are good. They have the young kid Freeman in the backfield there. Lindsey spells him, and he does pretty well for his role. But yeah, I think Keenum's hurt them a lot, and who knows though? Maybe he can have a bit of a bounce back game at home. But that's a ballsy bet on your.
Yeah, I think 7's enough. That Denver being at home, that's always a factor. Right?
It's always a tough place to play. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody always says that, right?
Absolutely.
Mile high.
And the Rams did play with fire against Seattle in Seattle this past week. They
Right.
just squeaked
So
by.
I got Denver. I'm not.
Not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet the closer you look at it.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that I'm not. I shouldn't say that I'm confident with it because anytime you bet against a team like the Rams that's clicking on all cylinders, that's 5-0, and honestly looks like they're not turning back. Right? They look great. So you can't really be confident with that pick. I just think that Denver's, like I said, gonna have a bounce back game, and I don't necessarily think Denver's gonna win, but I think they will.
They can cover.
I think they will cover the 7 points.
Well, and like I said, they're without Cooks and Cup possibly, so that could be a huge factor in that offense. So let's jump to the Sunday nighter. It is the Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots, and this is going to be. All signs point to
a nice
an
Sunday
unbelievable
night
game.
Nice Sunday night game.
Patriots are favored at the moment by -3.5. This one I went back and forth with a lot.
I didn't.
My heart said KC. My head said New England. And the odd time, I do go with my head. And I'm going to take New England -3.5.
Okay. New England's got Brady, obviously. And they seem to be improving. They got Gordon now.
I think they're now finally hitting their stride, and they look dangerous.
Gordon got 50 yards and a touchdown. I think that's just the beginning for Gordon. They're going to incorporate him more and more into each game.
That's the thing. Week. Gordon only had 2 receptions, and I mean, I can't believe he caught. I don't know what the Indy defense was doing on that play.
Yeah,
he was in double coverage, and he somehow was the only guy that went up to get the ball. It was such a weird play. But yeah, I mean, that's his talent, and that's really essentially almost all Brady needs to do is just get him the ball. And I think if they can factor him in with all those mouths to feed, like I mentioned a few episodes ago, especially with Edelman back now.
Yep.
I mean, Cordarrelle Patterson's getting his now. He's chipping away with a few touchdowns, not many yards, but then, Gronk, if he gets healthy, there's just a lot, and that team looks like they can roll. And Sonny Michel is looking good as a good young back. But that's why I think I'm going to take New England -3.5. Who do you...
I got KC there. I got KC in that game. I like that we're different in that game because...
I wanted to take KC. I wanted to keep riding Mahomes. I love the way that kid plays, and I want to see him upset New England in New England. That would be a great thing to see. But I just think New England's rolling right now, and
New England's rolling. KC's rolling too, though, and your real deal quarterback, Patty Mahomes, there.
yeah.
I like I didn't do with the Rams. I'm gonna do with KC. I'm gonna ride the hot hand there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that they'll cover at least 3.5 points. I mean,
Yeah.
Last second field goal win by Gostowski still gets me.
Have you seen the
Yes,
numbers
win.
Patriots have with and without Edelman?
I haven't seen the numbers.
Okay, so without Edelman, they're 19-10.
Wow, that's
With
human.
Edelman is 46-9. 4 more points a game when he's in the game. Average with 29, without 25.
So they're human without Edelman, and then they're the New England Patriots with him.
Yes.
Wow.
Pass yards per game without 249, with 275. Everywhere
Brady
down the
loves
board.
Brady does love
Yeah,
him.
it's his
Third
boy.
down percentage without 38, with 43.
Yeah, he makes a difference, and that's why I think like New England, they got by the first 4 weeks, and now that they got him back, I think they're just gonna roll and keep rolling, and it might not be so easy against a great Chiefs offense
500 touchdowns for Mr. Brady.
for Mr. Brady.
Big weekend for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Between
yeah.
Brady
For
and
quarterbacks.
Breeze.
Seeing two of the best of all time in our generation, which is always
In
nice.
our generation, in
Always
anybody's
nice to see.
generation.
Miami Dolphins gave up Drew Brees, guys.
The Miami Dolphins had Drew Brees.
They had a chance with Drew Brees.
And they passed, or they
they
gave
went
up?
with Culpepper.
Huh. Good choice.
Culpepper. Wow.
Dante, Randy, whatever his name,
Dante.
Dante Culpepper. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Dante Culpepper.
Mr. Minnesota.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so that's our Sunday nighter, and let's jump to the last game,
The Monday Nighter.
the Monday nighter.
It's going to be a dud.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a good game if McKinnon and Garoppolo were still healthy.
Yeah, I agree.
But we have San Francisco 49ers at the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers are favored by -9.5. I think Green Bay's just going to be pissed. They're going to be upset. They're going to be at home, and they're going to come out flying against the San Francisco team who just lost to Arizona.
You're going to take Green Bay at -9.5?
I would take Green Bay at -14.5.
Oh, okay.
I think that they're gonna take.
So why don't I take Green Bay at -9.5 and you take Green Bay at -14.5?
That's the spread we're betting on here, Al. That's what we're doing it on.
Oh, you just said you wanted to take them at 14.5.
If it was, but
So
it's
let's
not.
just say it was
It's
for
not.
you.
It's not. It's
I'm going to take them
-9.5.
at 4.5.
You taking Green Bay too?
I'm
assuming?
taking Green Bay
Yeah,
at 9.5
okay,
too.
sure.
Green Bay's going to come and they're going to destroy.
That's exactly what I just said.
Destroy.
Yeah.
Oh, again, a West Coast team coming to the East Coast.
Exactly.
I just dropped my
What
phone.
did you drop
Classic.
now? Oh, now it was his
Tradition.
phone.
Tradition.
Not the pen this time. It was his phone. So that's what you heard. Sorry about that, listeners.
I'm not
But yeah.
sorry about that.
But yeah, I think we're both on the same page here. Green Bay. So Ange, maybe I don't want to jinx it, but if we lose this game, we might have to cancel the segment.
Never cancel the segment.
But,
Fade us. So, Ange, you
Yeah.
have...
I mean, it is a big spread. It is a big spread, so that could be the good thing going for you, Ange.
So, in summary, Ange is taking the Giants at +3 against Philly.
Yep.
And you're taking San Fran
Plus
against
9.5.
Green Bay at +9.5. I selected Pittsburgh at +2.5, Denver at +7, and KC at +3.5. I got all the underdogs.
Looks like
And
it,
you
yeah.
took all the favorites.
Yeah, I took Cincy and the Rams and New England. So should be an interesting turn of events in our records this week. So looking forward to seeing that. But that just about does it for our NFL picks against the spread. Again, brought to you by Cellular Solution. And okay, guys, that wraps up that segment. Before we shut her down for this week, we'll do as we usually do. We'll go around the table and see if there's any hot topics, any big things that we missed, anything going on
Any
today.
hot potatoes?
Any hot potatoes that have been tossed around while we've been recording the show, anything like that. And we'll start with our social media director, Ange. Do you got anything?
A few things. What do you think about Matthews' fashion?
So we're talking Austin
is-
Matthews.
Austin Matthews, GQ.
No
Mr.
kidding
GQ.
here. Leafs talk.
And he also did another magazine shoot.
Good.
And he was quoted saying, like, he likes how in the NBA, Russell Westbrook, all these guys have their own fashion statement style.
So he's gonna be one of those guys.
Can you imagine like the hockey turn that way, where these guys can wear what they
You know what
want?
he is? It's just
It's
more-
getting
No,
there.
these guys
It's
are
getting
rocking
there, though,
suits.
and
Yeah,
it's
but
getting there.
no.
I was just gonna say it's more in the
It's
in the
suit
suits.
game. It's your
Classy,
suit style.
classy
yeah.
stuff.
NHLers aren't going to walk in wearing a ripped shirt with
No.
skinny jeans. Like, we'll never see
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Will we ever see that?
No,
No,
it'll
no,
be
no.
a tie.
We'll never
Honestly,
see
those
that.
Canadian
Some sort
kids
of-
will just come into
NHL
tracksuit.
Yeah,
Tracksuit with your
NHL, any hockey players in general, since they're little, especially in Canada,
Yeah.
they know that they got to get dressed up to go.
You're
to the
wearing
rink.
a suit on
I
the
remember
game day.
I remember playing single A. It was a shirt and tie.
Yeah.
You have to wear to the game. Single A.
Nah,
when I was a little
in
kid.
juvie, a couple guys started to go into tracksuits. We're like, okay, I don't want to wear this suit anymore. Let me just wear a tracksuit.
Right.
Coach pulled us aside. Hey,
Get that shirt and
Get
tie
that
on.
shirt and tie back.
So it's almost like a culture, but
It is a culture.
As long as
It's a
as long as
tradition.
Matthews keeps it classy, which he has done. Did you see Carlson and his buddy walk in?
that's what
they
I'm
look
saying.
good, right?
Yeah.
They kept it really classy.
I don't mind. I have a little bit of a beef with it because I think they're getting a little too
Why?
adventurous with the style.
Why, man?
Because you're going to play a hockey game. You're
Style
not going
changes.
out. You're not going out to a gala, a fundraiser gala.
You don't think they get paid, man, to wear stuff?
Of course they get
RW
paid.
and Co.
Of course they get paid.
sponsors
Of
Eric
course,
Carlson.
100%.
There you go.
But I don't mind it. Like if you want to add a little edginess to your suit,
It's not even edginess.
it's a style.
I think as long
you're
as
making
it-
a fashion
I think
statement.
as long as they keep it classy, I'm all
exactly,
for it.
exactly.
Can they go in
Exactly.
shorts, a short suit like
No.
LeBron in the playoffs last
No,
year?
no short suits.
No shorts.
The only guy I see doing that is Burns. That's the only guy.
Yeah,
I see. Brad
Burns
is the only
might
guy.
be the only guy that, and even might get away with it because he's just an
No.
awesome, cool
You
guy.
know who the only
If
guy?
I'm coaching the team, if I'm the GM of that team, nobody's getting away with that
No,
shit.
yeah.
Okay? You're not coming to the rink in shorts.
Hey, Al.
Do you know who
This is a
probably
bit-
always wore a suit to a hockey game? Walter Gretzky.
Walter
he probably-
Gretzky, of course.
80th birthday today.
Walter Gretzky, Anthony.
Shout out, Walt.
Great.
Leave
Red
it
Leaf
love.
salute.
Great.
Red Leaf salute.
Red
to
Leaf
Walt.
salute
I
to
agree,
Walter
100%.
Gretzky. Happy 80th birthday, Walter
He
Gretzky.
probably always made Wayne wear suits.
Oh, absolutely.
He
Matching
probably
suits,
made
probably.
Wayne, he probably made Wayne wear a suit to bed.
He was late night puck on the
Good,
pond. in the suit.
good grab there, Ant. I didn't know today was Walter's.
Ovechkin gave a shout out to Putin on his Instagram for his birthday.
Oh, he
nice.
did.
That's
eh?
nice of
Yeah, the whole
So a lot of
the whole
birthdays.
Ovechkin Putin
Walter Gretzky
relationship.
Putin. Who would have thought you guys have the
Putin-
same birthday?
Putin's
week?
he's their prez, right?
Yeah.
You know, you kind of shut out when you can. If you're,
He's also a man who's
would you
suspected
rather
of killing
Yes,
hundreds of innocent people.
Fine. But would you rather be his friend or his enemy?
No, hey,
right?
listen, that's-
Especially if he's your
Ovechkin's his buddy.
countryman.
You don't need to get into politics. It's hockey. If he wants to wish his president a happy birthday, it is what it is. There's no,
Right.
I don't think it's a big story there.
No, not at all. That's fine. That's good. Putin wished him congratulations. When
Yeah,
he won
of
the cup,
course.
right?
Yeah,
of course.
They're
That's,
buddies.
There you go.
22 years ago today, Shooter McGavin blew a 4-shot lead on the back nine of the Tour Championship to Happy Gilmore.
Wow, that's 22 years ago
Remember that?
today.
That
Remember
happened today, 22 years ago.
This week.
That was
This
22
week.
years
That
ago.
was 22 years
This
ago.
week, yeah.
The movie Happy Gilmore came
So
out.
it's saying
Well, one of the best sports.
It is
one of the
because
best
that
sports
was
movies of
we
all
were
time.
12 years old.
Let's get into sports movies, guys.
Oh man!
Oh, we gotta do a segment.
top
of
three,
sports
top
movies.
three sports movies.
Let's tease
don't have
it.
to
Let's
start-
tease
Can we-
it.
okay,
Let's throw some out, and then
we
maybe
can
we
throw
can
some
do a
out.
list
Okay.
for next
Next
episode.
episode, we gotta
send
do.
in your top.
So yeah, send in what you think
Sports
is your
movies.
And
your
when we
favorite
when we
sports movies.
send stuff out on Twitter and Instagram, it's not a secret. You could send it to other people for them to join into the
Yeah.
conversation too.
Share it.
Share it. The more people that are on our bandwagon, Red Leaf Sports, the better it's gonna be.
Exactly.
It's gonna be so much
Exactly.
fun
But
if
yeah,
we all can talk about different things like that.
throw us out your ideas.
Now, I'm
for
not gonna look
favorite.
anything up. I'm just gonna go top of my head.
Yeah, top of the head.
Top of my head.
Yeah.
I loved golf movies are good, eh?
Golf
There
movies
has
are
been
good.
some good golf sports
Classy.
movies.
I loved Happy Gilmore.
Happy
Just
Gilmore
because we're
is
talking about it.
fantastic movie.
Because that's a hockey and golf movie.
Yeah, it's sprinkled a little bit of both, mainly golf, but
364 days left till next hockey
until
season.
next hockey
It's
season.
tryout,
yeah.
man.
Tryout.
He was the enforcer, rocking a
guy-
Boston jersey.
couldn't
Oh
even
man,
skate.
that movie brings back a lot of great memories. I can't believe that's 22 years ago. Wow.
Oh, what other
Remember that
movies?
collapse.
My favorites is top of the head, like Major League and Major League 2. Those two movies
Baseball
were
movies.
Remember the
those
Titans.
two. Oh, remember the Titans? What was the
You
other
like
one?
Remember the Titans?
No,
You
not
didn't
me.
like. Come on, man.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
You liked
You know what I did
Strong
like?
side.
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
You liked
I
Varsity
know.
Blues.
Yeah.
You didn't like.
There
Remember
goes my hero.
What is that?
That's There Goes My
That's
Hero
their
from Varsity Blues, sung better by me.
Yeah, okay. You like Varsity Blues better than Remember the Titans?
I believe I do.
Really?
I don't remember Remember the
Oh
Titans
my
too
God,
well.
Denzel, man.
That was
Denzel.
such an awesome movie.
I don't want your life.
What was that?
That's Varsity Blues. You don't remember that?
Oh, that's,
I don't want your life.
Oh yeah, the quarterback there. What's his name? Vanderbeek.
James Vanderbeek. Dawson Creek himself.
Dawson Creek himself. What else is there? There was another football that was like similar to Remember the Titans.
Varsity Blues.
Marshall, We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall was a good one.
Wah.
Sad.
Mighty
Sad,
Ducks.
sad.
Mighty
Mighty
Ducks.
Ducks.
How
Number
about-
2. Mighty Ducks 2.
Okay.
Was
Mighty
my
Ducks,
favorite
I don't
Mighty
want to
Ducks.
slag Mighty Ducks because Mighty Ducks is an all-time classic. But as like a hockey, like that's the shit hockey.
Well, Al, when
Jamaica
you watch
had
that-
a team.
Let's do the flying V.
That flying V's nothing.
Ow,
you just
that-
hit the guys and it's
Al,
over.
you can't. You're 34 years old. Obviously,
outta here.
They're not geared. The
Oh,
movie's not
watching it
geared
now at
towards
34
It
years
was a
old.
Disney movie.
It is
you.
really-
Yeah, it's so
Actually,
bad. It's
the
really
Ducks-
bad.
It's unwatchable now.
Anaheim Mighty Ducks wore
Did you
their
enjoy
jerseys
The Rocket?
tonight?
I enjoyed The Rocket.
What was the Rocket?
You never watch
No, I don't think
Maurice
I've ever watched
Richard movie?
Never
Disney
seen
made.
it. Haven't seen it.
You gotta watch that.
Really?
I don't.
Maurice
Oh,
Richard.
man. Yeah, I've never seen it.
called
Probably
The
because it's
Rocket.
about a player that played for the Habs. That's probably
Yeah,
why
I'm
I
not
haven't
watching
seen
that.
it. Nah, that's
So-
respect Maurice
Yeah,
Rocket
the Rocket.
Richard, man. Him and John Belleville, the only two
We're
guys I
missing a
respect
good
as
one. We're
Montreal
missing
Canadiens.
The Sandlot. The
The
Sandlot.
Sandlot, yeah, that's
stuff.
probably in my top, for sure, top 5.
Oh, that's a fair
For
ball.
sure, top 5.
Fan
Yeah.
interference. You get 2. Way to go, bud.
It's not fan
10,
interference when it bounces into the crowd.
10-1 in the Red Sox Yankees game of the night. Bottom
That guy
of the
at
7.
10-1, he was just happy to get a ball.
Boy, do we need
Yeah.
a sponsor for the game of the night.
Yeah, boy, do we ever. Yeah, those are some of the movies in the top of our head, but we'll definitely put together a nice list, and we'll incorporate that into our next episode.
Yeah,
next
we
week.
want to do a nice segment on sports
We'll
movies. I think
set
that's
something
cool.
up. I like that idea. Any other movies
Eastland!
before we wrap up the episode, guys?
I
Any other
like.
movies?
What about? I had on top of my head. I wanted to bring something up,
Yeah.
but we brought
You
the
lost
movies.
it. You lost
Oh,
it.
you lost it. You had
it.
some-
Oh no, I got it.
Oh,
I
you
got
got
it.
it. It better be good.
DX is back. Shawn Michaels.
Degeneration X is back.
You know
Shawn
what?
Michaels.
I'm closing my book.
Okay, Al, take a hike. I want to talk
See
about
you later.
Would have
Triple
been better
H.
if you
Wait a minute.
remember that.
Triple
Ladies and
H.
gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
He didn't do that. Triple H did the "Are you ready?"
So Triple H,
Triple H
Shawn
is
Michaels.
60
No,
years
just them two.
old.
Just them
Oh
two.
wait, where's 1,
And
2,
they
3
got a
Kid?
war. They got a war against Kane and the Undertaker.
Where's 1, 2, 3 Kid?
He's
It's
not
not
there.
Degeneration X
X-Pac
without,
is done.
without
He
X
doesn't-
Pac.
He doesn't
X-Pac.
look like he's in good shape.
He does not look like he's in good shape.
No, he's better than.
Is he better
was.
now?
Yeah,
he's better than
better.
Razor Ramon.
Undertaker looks really old, guys.
How's Razor Ramon
Undertaker
doing?
is-
Scuttle's doing a grease.
Is he okay?
Yeah, DDP
Because
Yoga.
when I
fixed
saw
him
that
right up.
ESPN 30 for
Nah,
30,
buddy. Him and Jake the Snake,
oh man, he
DDP
looked
Yoga,
bad.
they're normal.
Oh, they're doing yoga now?
They did DDP
Oh,
Yoga.
good.
Look it
Because
up.
that was scary to see. Scott
yes.
Hall in that condition. I remember watching that
Chico.
documentary. One of my favorite wrestlers. I used to give my brother the Razor's Edge all the time.
We all used to give your
Smash
How
the
many
back
times
of
did you
his
throw a
head.
toothpick at someone because
All
of
the
it?
time. All the time. I smashed my brother's head on the back of the
Hold on. You go
bedpost
around
doing a
throwing
Razor's Edge.
toothpicks at people.
When I was a kid. No, when I was a kid.
Going Chico.
Throw a toothpick.
So Degeneration X
At
is
weddings?
kind of back. They're
Kind-
half
they're-
back.
they're really
I mean,
old.
They're
They're-
missing X-Pac and they're missing Rest in Peace China.
Yeah,
But those are
and Road
other
Dogg
two.
and
Oh,
Badass
Road
Billy
Dogg, Jesse
Gunn.
James, and Badass Billy Gunn. Wow,
So I
can't believe
heard they
forgot
wanna
those
pay-
guys.
He new aged.
So they're not
outlaws.
back then.
They
They're missing
half.
4 out of the
guys
6
aren't
guys.
I'm closing my computer.
No. They want to pay The Rock. Listen to this. They want to pay The Rock $24 million to do 3 matches next year.
They should take it.
They want him to do.
He'll make $24 million
WrestleMania
filming one
because
scene of his
in Saudi
blockbuster
Arabia.
movies.
Saudi Arabia has a wrestling extravaganza, and they want The Rock there. So
Saudi
The Rock
Arabia,
has
yikes.
to might make a comeback this.
Would you go to
WrestleMania.
Saudi Arabia for 20 mil?
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
You have to think about it though. There was a
No,
pause.
no.
Yeah, there was a pause.
I was
Everybody
talking-
paused.
He
I
wasn't
wasn't
listening.
paying
You
attention
weren't
to
paying
you
attention?
guys talking about this Junk stuff.
You would go, yeah, it's Saudi Arabia.
Hey, Trish Stratus came back tonight, Al.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, Trish Stratus
They're
is
bringing
back.
up all these guys. They're
I guess
all
she's
coming
not.
back.
Does she still have her yoga studio at
Nah,
Von Mills
that's
there?
all done.
No, that's
That's all
done. Eh?
done.
She had a good run there. I was
wanna-
around for a while.
Trish, shout out to Trish Stratus.
Yeah, she was awesome.
cool.
Canadian girl.
Yeah,
Good old Canadian girl.
okay, in the area, from the area.
From the area, yep.
Which is
She
kinda
went. She was big, guys. She held.
She was
the
a huge
title.
star,
Oh,
yeah.
nice pick.
You have
She
no
was a
idea.
huge star.
cool. Is this a pick say?
Pick 6 in the New Orleans
40
Washington
points,
game. Oh, and
Down at the 2.
They just wanna
Kamara
give
or
Breeze
Ingram
another-
is gonna vulture a
No,
touchdown
no.
here.
They want to give Breeze another TD
You think
pass.
so?
Yeah,
Nah.
it's his game, man.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, guys. That so, like we said, we're gonna definitely jump onto the idea of the sports movies, and we're gonna incorporate that into the next podcast next week.
Oh,
But,
we didn't post the stuff that we said we were going to post last week.
Yeah, it was a busy week. We apologize for listeners from last episode. We didn't get to post them. We actually had a hard time trying to repost some of those videos. They were hard to find, and we'll do a better job. We'll definitely hit
It'll
you guys
be
up this
okay.
week. We'll get some footage and some posts out to you guys this week. So make sure you keep checking us out on all the social media platforms, and also don't forget we are going to be now officially Spotify will grace us their ability to now put our podcast on Spotify.
Come
now
have a beer with Red Leaf Sports Saturday.
And yeah, if you know where Angela is,
DM us for his address.
yeah, no line, no cover, maybe a little bit of a line.
Quick
but,
little thing. David Price tonight, coming into getting announced in the Yankee Stadium, got a standing ovation from the Yankee crowd.
Oh, classy. But they're losing 10-1, so really, can you do that?
Well, yes, you can. At the beginning of the game, you got
Yeah.
announced, and they gave him a standing.
Oh, in the
And
beginning
then
of
an
the
hour
game.
later,
Okay.
they all went home.
See you later.
Why did they announce him in the beginning of the game?
Because in the first
game.
playoff game of every series, they announced the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you forget already?
Yeah. It's been a while
Toronto's
since
been
the
out for
Jays.
2
Yeah,
years.
it feels like longer. Okay, guys, that I think that officially wraps everything up for episode number 5, and we want to thank you all for listening and tuning in again. On behalf of myself, Albert, Anthony, and Ange, thank you again for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. You're listening to the Red Leaf Sports Podcast.
Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down!